All right, so a lot of changes came out yesterday. So whoa. Changes came out yesterday, and they said to keep a lookout for this week's TWID. So let's jump right into it. All right, this week in Destiny, September 4th, 2025. This week in Destiny, we're getting ready for Ash and Iron. Drum roll. The oven has been burning behind the scenes. They better have been cooking something, bro. And we're excited to show you what we've been cooking. You thought we'd make an iron pun, didn't you? Haha, funny. We're hosting an upcoming stream to talk about the major update, obviously. So they're going to have a dev live stream. Got world's first race coming, portal additions and changes, all the stuff, and then Hispanic Heritage Month as well. This is a lot coming with this TWID right here. So here's a full rundown. What we're discussing today: we have Ash and Iron, fresh portal loot, trials rewards, portal buffs, portal rewards improvements, dungeon layers. So that's going to be added to the portal. They're going to be doing dungeon encounters on the portal as well. Featured gear for Renegades, world's first updates, patch notes, voice acting update, humble choice, Hispanic Heritage. All right, so we have a developer live stream coming September 9th, 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's a little bit earlier than usual. For those of you that don't know, usually is 10 a.m. Pacific time if I'm not mistaken, but 9 a.m. Pacific time for the dev live stream. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't seen the trailer is absolutely awesome. We're not going to play it right here right now. There is a reaction video to the trailer that we have just posted. So if you want to go look at the trailer, make sure you come over here to the TWID, look at the trailer. Everyone watching the dev live stream is going to get a emblem for watching the dev live stream. There it is. Beautiful emblem. Not too bad looking right there. Very cool one. Upcoming portal updates. Obviously, we've already had a lot of the portal updates announced. So just going to kind of skim through this and see if there's anything that we might have missed. Fire Team Ops activities will have an increase in the number of drops. Activity timers have been rebalanced across the board. Yep, all this stuff is new. This is all the reminder stuff from last week, so we don't really need to go over any of that. Additionally, the Desert Perpetual Raid will have the following weekly challenges. This is all talked about in last week's TWID, and with the improvements coming for the portal. Attunement and gear tier drops improvements. Before we move post-launch updates, we have 2 more changes that will be released on September 9th. Increased chance of earning prime engrams on activity complete in the Crucible, and increased bonus focus drop rates. Increased bonus focus drop rates from 25% to 66% in the Crucible. Cool. So a couple increases for the Crucible loot. So that's good stuff. Trials rewards. If you haven't heard yet, we're bringing back a weekly featured weapon for trials. This will bring PvP gear parity with the PvE experience and provide opportunities for players to focus their efforts on acquiring specific pinnacle PvP gear. The Trials weekly featured weapon can be acquired with each visit to the lighthouse and will have a chance to drop in addition to all pre-existing rewards when completing a match, win or lose. The drop chance varies depending on the grade, with a C+ scaling 20% and A+ giving you 60% chance for the drop. More details shared in next week's TWID. So not this TWID, next week's TWID. Not this TWID, next week's TWID. Portal buffs. A number of buffs we've been working on will be rolling out with the launch of Ash and Iron. Destiny 2 update 9.101. Here are the changes heading towards this next patch and the work in progress info we can share about them. Removing some mods from the pre-match made portal. Obviously they said grapple and stuff like that. And then some mods could stack in ways that were unenjoyable for players. Yeah, cool. So those are the mods that they're going to be removing from the match-made portal experiences. We're creating a more consistent power reward experience for the upper power climb. So from 500 to 550, earn A or A+ and get +1 power on your activity completion rewards. Okay, so if you're doing really good and farming really well, getting a really good score, you're going to get a guaranteed +1 power on your activity completion rewards. That's huge. This change will also be in effect for A grades in the 400 to 450 power range when Renegade launches. So not right now, but with Renegades. Note that with the launch of Ash and Iron, the power climb from 400 to 500 will be naturally accelerated by the power cap increasing to 550. Very cool and everything, but I don't know what's holding you up from doing the changes that you're waiting until Renegades to do. Just Speed it up, guys. Come on, speed it up. We gave No Land Beyond a plus 999 tracker on how many on your stack, but for no reason. So why are we worried about that and not doing these changes that we need to be doing? We're improving Fire Team Ops rewards. We're identifying opportunities to improve the nature of the reward experience. Obviously, we knew Fire Team Ops was getting increased. Here's a new one. Reduce gameplay penalties when running out of time in Grandmaster difficulty in the portal. GM difficulty portal activities will no longer zero out revives when you hit the time limit. Note that revives will still zero out for GM conquest. Make tier 5 rewards easier to earn in the portal. This is huge. From 450 power onwards, platinum or diamond reward packages earn a score of 1,250,000 more to guarantee tier 5 drops. Guarantee tier 5 drops. So that's huge. There's a way to guarantee those drops, so that's actually really good. To confirm that you will be able to earn tier 5 rewards before launching the activity, add modifiers and increase your reward score forecast until it shows a picture of a tier 5 engram. So obviously, whenever you're in the portal and you're upgrading your activity to get that score, make sure that little engram down in the bottom right is showing that you are going to earn a tier 5 before you launch that thing. Very cool. So gave us a guaranteed way to farm tier 5s from the portal, so that's actually huge. We have gone through all of the weapon updates in the weapon tuning video, the exotic weapon tuning video, so we're not going to go through all of this, all the weapons and stuff like that. Wait, no, this is wait. Okay, so this is not the exotic. Never mind. So this is rewards, new weapons and armor set bonuses. Okay, with all the above changes to how you earn rewards, we thought this would be a great time to introduce new rewards coming in the upcoming major update. Check out next week's stream to see some in action. Okay, so weapons, shared pool, Mida mini tool, revised lightweight submachine gun. So they've revised the Mida mini tool with some different roles, I assume. The Drang is revised. High impact rocket launcher Strand getting updated. In Trials, Burden of Guilt is getting updated. Ever burning Glitz is getting updated. Rapid fire auto rifle Kinetic. We love that. In Iron Banner, Finite Impactor is getting updated. Adaptive hand cannon Solar. Pinnacle Ops, we have Forced Memorializer and Seraphine Haze getting updated as well. Solo Ops, Fire Team Ops, we have a Redacted. We have a different weapon getting dropped there, so that's cool. Crucible Ops, there's a weapon getting dropped there as well. So I assume that's the ones coming with the new seasonal stuff. Big drops there. So cool reworks on weapons, especially with the updates to the Mida multi-tool. This is going to be really cool. Anything with the Mida synergy is going to do really well with the new Mida multi-tool updates. So it's cool that they're giving us an updated Mida mini tool because it really is a good SMG and it still holds weight even with the new SMGs in play right now. Mida mini tool is still a great option. If they give us some things like, attrition orbs or any burning ambition, obviously with the new solar stuff like that, it's going to be really cool to see what Mida mini tool does in an updated form. So that's going to be really cool. Solo Ops and Fire Team Ops, Smoke Jumpers armor suit. The set piece will give you the ride together, die together for the 2-piece. When you pick up an orb of power, gain a brief period of rapidly decaying damage reduction. Cool. So really quick damage reduction every time you pick up an orb of power. That's actually huge, especially if you're running anything that's really generating orbs like we were just talking about with your attrition orbs on your weapons, or anything like roly punchy builds for Hunter where you're creating orbs or getting grenade kills, melee kills, your siphons and everything like that. If you're making a lot of orbs, then this is actually really cool. We love damage reduction anytime we can get it into our kit. It helps with that survivability. The 4 pieces we have too old for this. Super damage causes health and shields to regenerate while you're in motion. Additional super damage refreshes this effect. So as long as you're moving your feet a little bit, if you're doing super damage, I wonder what this, I guess it doesn't really matter too much for Wells because you're getting that health and you're getting that health regeneration anyway. But the shield regeneration, if you're doing roaming supers or anything like that, I guess that would be more for like if you're speed running through encounters and doing like a roaming super. Really cool for like Titans. If you're doing the on camera build with your solar and just running through it, you just want to keep smoking stuff, you get healed and overshield, just absolutely crushing everything. Cool effect right here. I think really the big one is the 2-piece set that you get right here because it's very, very easy to get. Yeah, how much? But I mean, it says rapidly decaying, so I assume it's going to be a pretty good buff that just goes away really quickly, I would assume. I'm hoping it's something kind of like if you're using Gift of Conviction or something like that, you get that resist ×4 going. I hope it's something like that, but it just goes away super quick. So as long as you continuously pick up orbs, you can keep it. So I think you would go for the 2-piece set bonus here. Roaming supers, not really that much of a big deal, because usually you're usually doing one-shot supers like Celestial with the Golden Gun, or, you know, Curse of the Fallen Star, T-Crash, or if you're a Warlock, you're usually just dropping well. We're using Song of Flame anyway, so you don't really need health and shield regeneration while you're doing these, if you're talking in a PvE aspect. Now for PvP, if you're doing a roaming super and you don't want to get smoked, this is pretty cool, maybe. But for the most part, the 4-piece set is kind of like a miss, but 2-piece set, absolutely very cool right there. Other new armor suits, Crucible Ops is getting one, Iron Banner is getting one, and the raid, obviously the new raid, the epic version of the raid is getting one as well. New Pinnacle Ops, obviously you guys saw in the teaser trailer if you watched it, we are going to be getting dungeons added to the portal. For the start, dungeon lairs are going to be added to the Pinnacle Ops in the portal. Pit of Heresy, Beneath Necropolis, Duality, Nightmare of Galron, and Warlord's Ruin, Heaven's Vengeance. So this is just the boss encounter right here. It's just one encounter from dungeons to be added to the portal to farm in Pinnacle Ops. So this is pretty cool. Giving us more options of things to farm is always very great. We want to see more of this. I feel like 3 encounters from dungeons. We've had a lot of time to kind of put these things in here. We should be getting a little bit more than this, man. It is taking way too long to make things right. Like, obviously you guys know that it's there. I'm no coder, I'm no dev. I don't know how hard it is to get this in here, but I feel like it's underwhelming to only see 3 as a player. But obviously you guys may know better than I do how long this takes to get done. So if anybody knows anything, actually knows anything, not just hating just to hate, leave some comments down below and enlighten us on how long that this should be taken. But wait, there's more. Cue the Billy Mays. For 2 weeks, starting at Ash and Iron launch, we are making all 3 of their original dungeons available to all players once this period ends. Okay, so basically they're making these things available free to play for everybody that does not have the DLC or the dungeon keys for these old dungeons. These are going to be free to play, so you can kind of get spun up on the mechanics for the dungeon and stuff like that, get familiar with it. So that's pretty cool. If you prefer to farm dungeon specific loot to fill out your collection in the portal, you can customize dungeon lair activities and toggle the new boon modifier, Classic Collector. This modifier will ensure that legacy dungeon rewards will drop in addition to portal rewards. Okay, so you can you can basically turn it on to where you're getting classic stuff, or just turn it off if you don't want that extra loot for no reason. If you already have all the stuff, obviously it's just legacy stuff. It's not going to give you any boosted stats, just for those that are collecting the drip, if you will, of those. So very good options here. I just want to see more. Fireteam power will no longer adjust your score when below 300 power. This means that playing with friends who are lower power than you will improve their rewards, allowing quicker access to tier 2 gear. A discard action has been added to portal engrams when in the postmaster, allowing quicker dismantles if desired. Very cool as well, because obviously everybody's sitting in there farming forever. They don't want to have to go to the tower or wherever to handle all their stuff. Featured gear: when Renegades launches, all legendary gear from Season Reclamation will be included as part of the Season Lawless featured gear. In other words, legendary gear currently with the teal featured background marker will continue to be marked as featured gear next season. Cool. All new exotics from Season Reclamation will be included, so added to the boosted gear, if you will, for the seasonal stuff. The new gear bonus will be changing for the Season Lawless artifact. Starting in Season Lawless, the new gear bonus will be a flat bonus for all featured gear. It will no longer be tiered as it is currently in the Season Reclamation, and will be a max 5% damage for weapons and max 10% resistance for armor. Epic Raid release. Obviously, you guys know the Epic Raid's coming out. We're going to get in there. We're going to have some fun. Not really too terribly worried about that. Patch notes preview for the patch notes are going to come out on release. We'll go through all those whenever they come out. Edge of Fate voice acting update. Earlier this year, we announced some voice talent was unavailable to record lines for the Edge of Fate, and that temporary performances for Ikora, Orin, and Chioma were going to be used. We're happy to announce that with the launch of Ash and Iron next week, the original English voice talent for Ikora, Orin, and Chioma have returned with newly recorded lines for their characters. We love seeing them come back, man. Make sure we take care of our voice actors. They make the games amazing, dude. That pretty much does it for all the big updates that we want to stay in tune with. A lot of loot updates. That's huge. And then obviously Ash and Iron coming out. And if you haven't seen a lot of the patch notes, we've gone through all the exotic weapon tuning already in previous videos. But that does it for this TWID. If you enjoyed it, found it informative, please make sure you like, comment, share it with a friend. Follow and subscribe depending on which platform you're on. We'll see you in the next one.